Hey everyone. In this video I want to talk to you about the importance of not clinging to your past. You see, some people use their past as an excuse, as a crutch, to avoid working on themselves. And this is pretty common, which makes sense because when you think about it, it's the easy way to go in life, right? And most people are going to go that route because they don't want to put in the effort needed to make their lives better. Only in this case, the effort is needed to work on your insecurities, to work on overcoming trauma, things from your past that hold you down. But as we all know, that's much easier said than done. So many people choose to forego that altogether, and they use their past as a crutch to avoid putting in that effort. I wanted to make this video to ensure that none of you will play this stupid game, because playing the victim, being the victim of your past, is not going to make your life better at all. All that does is free you of accountability and responsibility for making your life better. And many people use it to avoid feelings of guilt as well over knowing that they are the ones who should be making their life better. Instead, they try to outsource that to other people, which doesn't really ever work. So do not do this. I know that it's difficult and I know that it can suck at times, but you really need to aim to work on overcoming your past, especially if you've had a rough one. If you've had a lot of trauma in your past, you can work on that. You can heal and overcome your trauma. Don't believe the lies that your thoughts occasionally tell you and saying that you're going to be the way you are your entire life, because that's simply not true. You can overcome a difficult past. It just requires a lot of effort and conscious thought. A lot of it is really just working on our mindset and the way that we view things, the way that we view past events, and even just taking the time needed to actually analyze those past events rather than trying to shut them in or shove them into like the dark recesses of your mind, because at that point you're not really solving anything. All you're doing is creating this issue of sweeping things under the rug. And while I would say for the most part, don't use my video here to try to work on yourself, definitely seek therapy or professional help if need be, because that is a great resource to use. And don't buy into any morons who act like therapy is for weak people. I'll tell you right now, therapy is for the strong people, because people who go to therapy understand that there are some stigmas that are ridiculous, and I don't even know why they exist in society, but they choose to go to therapy in spite of those stigmas. That requires strength. That's badass if you ask me. These are people who want to work on themselves and have the courage to do just that. So if you go down the therapy route, give yourself a pat on the back, because you are admirable and strong. And that is definitely the main resource you should use for overcoming any past trauma or past insecurities from just having things a bit rough when you were growing up. So definitely use that resource. The main goal is really just to release all the feelings attached to past events. And therapy will help you do just that. It'll help you process things, process those emotions so they can move through you, and then they'll get released. And with that, you can start focusing on the future and not let your past bring you down anymore. Not play that stupid victim game where you get no work done because you're just thinking, woe is me all the time. Look, your past can't be changed. So don't even focus on it. Just look towards the future. Look on making things better further down the road. That's about all you can do. And I'll just end the video by sharing some insight into my own life, because I know some of you probably think I had a amazing past growing up to be able to make these videos like I do. It's not entirely true. I mean, sure, for the most part, my youth wasn't all that bad, but I did deal with a lot of emotional bullying, which if you've been following me for a while, you know that that's the thing. I've mentioned it plenty of times, but that made my youth not so great. It made it actually so I developed a lot of insecurities. It didn't necessarily lead to long-term trauma, but it made me very deeply insecure. My self-esteem was so freaking low. It was almost like I was working from the bottom floor trying to make my way up to a skyscraper. And it took me a long time to get to where I am today because of that, but I didn't let it stop me. I mean, I got made fun of almost on a daily basis at times. It was usually from middle school through high school, but there was a bit of teasing in elementary school as well. And, you know, as kids tend to do, I took it all personally, bottled it all up, and thought everything that people said about me was true. And yeah, so it wasn't easy. But I didn't play the victim and start thinking that, I should say further down the road, I didn't play the victim and let that stop me. At some point I just started thinking, you know, these people who make fun of me, they're idiots. It was like a coping mechanism, of course, but it helped tremendously because I just kept thinking, you know, I wager these people probably aren't going to amount to much in life, at least not if they continue behaving in the way that they do. So I started thinking in that way, and it kind of helped deal with their crap, because then if they made fun of me, if they talked crap about me and all that jazz, I basically just kind of got to a point where it didn't affect me as much because I was just thinking more towards the future. And that helped me out during those times. It helped me get to a place where I was able to slowly build up my self-esteem by not letting those things get to me. But even to this day, there are certain words that people could call me that will be quicker to rile me up than most. There's certain trigger words, let's say, only now rather than getting like offended over them, it makes me kind of mad, which isn't exactly better per se, because wanting to beat someone up over calling you something is definitely not the right route to go either, but it's probably better than getting offended at least. So yeah, there you go, with some little insight into my past and how I could have easily gone down that victim route myself. I could have chosen to not work on myself at all, to just think, you know, all the things that those people said to me when I was a kid are true, and yeah, but I just didn't see any value in that, because at the end of the day I knew that I had so much autonomy in where I end up in life that playing the victim is stupid. It doesn't lead you anywhere. It doesn't even get you pity from other people, because there were times where I talked to people about that bullying and I could tell they didn't give two shits about it at all. So even if you're playing the victim game for pity, for attention and validation from others, you often won't even get that. So there's literally like no point at all in playing the victim. Just take accountability for your life. Stop clinging to your past as an excuse, as a crutch to not work on yourself, and start making your life better. Because at the end of the day, only you can do that. So there you go. That's all I wanted to share in this video. I truly hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like content like this, be sure to subscribe for more. Otherwise, the easiest way you can help me out is just to throw a like and a comment on the video for the algorithm. And I will see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!